loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're at the start of another weekly reading vlog, and this week I am so excited. I genuinely cannot wait for the books that I'm going to be reading this week. I am reading Japanese translated books about cats. I mean, can you think of anything more perfect and cozy than books about cats? I can't wait to read it. This is actually a video idea I have had in the making for months and months and months. I've been wanting to do this video idea for such a long time, and I could never fully decide on what I wanted to read, but it's decided, and I have 2 books I'm going to be reading. But before I get into the books that I'm reading, I just want to talk to you about another really exciting thing that has happened that I genuinely am still in shock over, and that is that I get to talk to you about a company called Ana Luisa. Now, if you haven't heard of Ana Luisa, they are an online jewelry brand, and I've been obsessed with their jewelry. And so when they reached out to me, I was so freaking excited, because not only is their jewelry absolutely gorgeous and unique, but they also have such great values as a company. The thing that I love most about Ana Luisa is their commitment to sustainability within their pieces. One of their main values is looking at sustainability, looking at what they are providing and also the impact it's having and how they can lessen that impact. For example, they use recycled materials wherever possible, which I love. But at the same time, they don't lessen the quality of their product with that. They make sure that all their pieces are hypoallergenic and tarnish resistant. Like, they even have tests to check for things like how they'll last against humidity and things like that, which I just think is amazing. And on top of that, they give you a 2-year warranty, and some of their pieces start from as low as $39. And they are having their biggest sale ever with up to 30% off. The more you buy, the more you save, which I just think is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got 2 pieces. I have these 2 beautiful necklaces that I am just in love with. So this one here is the puffed heart necklace, and I really like this gold chain that it's on. I just thought it was so different and unique. This is something that I've been wearing a lot lately. It just goes with everything. And then this one is the moon pendant, and this is gorgeous. It has a mother of pearl inlay in the actual moon, and then of course gold dipped. It is absolutely gorgeous. I have loved carrying these like this. Like, you've probably seen me wearing these necklaces quite a lot in other videos, and I genuinely love how these look together. They are so perfect. I do love jewelry, but I tend to wear a lot of silver, and I really wanted to test out some gold pieces, and honestly, I'm obsessed. The packaging was great. I really love this. I've honestly not taken them off since I received them. This is all perfect timing because we've got the holiday season coming up. I do have a link for you if you would like to go check it out. Maybe pick up some pieces as some gifts for friends and family, or even a gift for yourself. Really recommend Ana Luisa, and thank you so much to them. But let's get into the books that I'm going to be reading for this week. So we have 2 different books that I'm so excited to be reading. This one is If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawama. This one, both translated from Japanese, but this one is translated by Eric Sellen. Really tiny little book, but I'm so excited to read this one. This is one that I have been thinking about reading since it first came out. There was so much hype around it. Loads of people were really liking it. What would you sacrifice for an extra day of life? We're literally following someone where death approaches them and says, look, your time's up, but I'll do you a deal. If you give up this thing, and it has to be given up completely, you can get an extra day of life. I think this is going to be a really interesting book to read, talking about morality and what does life mean and what would we give up to extend it. Like, that sounds really fascinating. I think it's going to be a really powerful, poignant read. And then we have Will Prescribe You a Cat by Siu Ishida, translated by E. Madison Simoda, and this is a book that I pre-ordered. I have been excited about this one ever since it came out, and I think this is the book that solidified, okay, I'm going to do this themed vlog this year, because I was so excited to get it. This place where people go to when they're not feeling great and they get prescribed a cat, and it's their stories. I genuinely am so looking forward to this. It's really fun because on the pages, let me see if I can do this, you've got little cats, which I think is really cool on all of the pages. How interesting is that? Like, I really am looking forward to reading this one. I mean, just like, look, there's little cats everywhere. So yeah, I'm so excited. I'm honestly thinking to start off with this one because it's the one that I pre-ordered. It's one I've been most interested in. So I think I'm going to start off with We'll Prescribe You a Cat, and we're just going to have a really nice cozy cat reading vlog. Like, I'm so excited for this. You'll have to let me know, have you read either of these? I know Danny has read this one. Excited for this vlog. So of course you're going to be seeing lots of my cat Hermione. She is going to be the main star of all the b-roll this week. Although she's looking a little bit derpy right now. But she is going to be in a lot of clips and stuff, because how can we not do a cat reading week and I don't use it as an excuse to show off my cat, because she is amazing. But yeah, okay, that's the start of this reading vlog. I'm so freaking excited to be reading these. I think it's going to be such a good reading week. And I will, of course, talk about what these books are Wait, what am I trying to say? We've got Winter Readathon. That's what I'm talking about. Winterathon, hosted by Rainy. I've been taking part in this. As you can see, I've already got 4 prompts ticked off, and later in this video I will talk about which prompts that these books are going to fit for. Honestly, if I get this done early enough and I still have a few days, then maybe we'll pop to my local independent bookshop and see what books they've got on cats, because I'm pretty sure they've got a couple that have been translated from Japanese around to cats, because it's such a big thing. Like, it's something I see wherever I go. So definitely, I'm pretty sure they have a couple. So if I get these done in time, because they are such short books, then we will definitely be popping to there to get a third one to round out this weekly reading vlog. Mainly just because I love an excuse to go shopping in my local independent bookstore. It's a thing. I have a book buying addiction. I have a jewelry addiction. Like, it's all the things, you know? Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you've been up to, what you've been reading, and I am going to catch up with you when I've actually started We'll Prescribe You a Cat. I have had a kind of hectic couple of days. This morning has been amazing. I woke up pretty early, it's my day off today, and I was doing some editing while on live sprints with Sylvie over at the Tarot Magpie. Like, that was amazing. It was a really nice, productive morning. She has a Patreon, I'm part of that, and so I got to sit with her for the morning while we both got on with some work, and honestly, it was great. I actually really enjoyed it. It was so nice to have both of us doing our own thing, but also being able to just check in and chat every so often. Like, oh, loved it. So this morning has been really productive, but the last couple of days have been hectic. Work's been busy, so I honestly haven't read much. I have started We'll Prescribe You a Cat, and I am up to page 81, and what I didn't realise, these are short stories. I didn't realise that. I should have guessed it, because I feel like that's quite a common thing in Japanese books, is that they are a series of short stories that are put together inside one novel. I am up to number 2, and we've got a different cat, and it seems like each story is going to be of a different person struggling in their life and getting prescribed a cat and seeing how that cat changes their life. That's what happened in the first one, and the cat was called Bee, and it was so adorable and heartwarming, and it really showed how just changing your perspective can have a big impact on your life, and how a cat can help you feel not quite so alone and just feel a little bit happier and take joy in the smaller things in life. Like, it was such a lovely little story. It did take me a couple days to read it just because of how busy I was, but I'm thinking there are 5 short stories in here, so I've got 4 left to go, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do 1 a day. So I'll do 1 today, and then we're on Wednesday, so it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and have this book finished Saturday. So that's the plan. I'm not sure how long this one is. Let me see. So it looks like this one is, oh, only 41 pages long. So I can definitely get that one done today. It seems like the first one was the longest. But I get that makes sense as well because you're getting used to what this is about, and I love a short story collection, so I'm very happy with this. So yeah, 40 pages. I think I'll read that one today. And I had a little flick through to the end, and it looks like there is going to be a second book coming out next year. And what I find quite fun is that a lot of translated book, or at least I've definitely seen it with one other Japanese book, and there's also a Korean book that's done the same thing. I think that one is the Delicate Dream Department Store. The second book just has the same title but with again on it, and that's going to be the same thing. It's in next year, autumn next year, it's going to be We'll Prescribe You a Cat Again, and it's going to be the same sort of thing, just following probably different people and different cats. So yeah, so I'm going to read number 2 today, which we're following Margaret. Excited to read that, but I think as I'm only reading 40 pages, I'm also going to start If Cats Disappeared from the World today, and this one's only a short book as well. So this one is, I think it's 200 pages. So depending on, because again it's my day off, I might end up reading just like 100 pages today, 100 pages tomorrow, I'm not sure, and we'll see how this goes. I'm intrigued by it, and I was going to be updating to say, oh, I've had such a slow start to the reading week that I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get another cat book read or like go shopping for one. But you know what, I think we're still going to do that anyway. So I'm thinking probably Friday after work, go to the local bookstore on my way home and just see what they have, see if they've got a book, and if I can read it, great, and if not, doesn't matter, at least I've got it for my shelves. Like, I need no excuse to go book shopping. But yeah, so that's the plan today. We're going to read the second short story in this and start this one. I think it's going to be a nice day. I've got a few things I want to get done, so we'll see how much of If Cats Disappeared from the World I actually read. Thinking after this update, I'm going to have some breakfast, settle down with this, and just see how much of this short story I get read. But I do have some more book mail because, of course, Denise has been spoiling me so much. I know this is from her because they messaged me to say, hey, by the way, you've got another book coming your way, which is just so sweet and kind. And there is gift note. Okay, let's see what it says. Your bookshelf tour was unique. Quite refreshing to see a booktuber that has actually read the majority of the books on their shelves and can have real views and opinions on them. Thank you as always for your creativity. Aw, thank you so much. Honestly, you do so much and I appreciate it, and I just, yeah, it's lovely of you. Thank you so much. The book is Ghosts from the Library, Lost Tales of Terror and the Supernatural, and we've got a variety of different authors. We've got Agatha Christie, Daphne du Maurier, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and many, many more, which I'm really excited about. This is one that I wanted one because, you know, I love a short story collection, and also, you know, Ghosts from the Library, how cool is that? And there's authors in here that I really do like, so I'm really excited to give this one a try. Also to read some stories by authors I've never read from before, to see if I then want to look into more of their work. I think I'm gonna keep this one for autumn next year, which seems like it's ages away, and I do really want to read this sooner, but I think this is going to be perfect to read in October. Like, that just sounds like an absolutely wonderful time, reading a ghost story collection in October. I may end up reading it before then, who knows, but I think that would be perfect. There's quite a few people that I have read from in this, but also at the same time there is enough, like there's also authors I've never heard of, which I love. So thank you so much for this. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be wonderful. And there are other collections of this, so if I enjoy this, there are other collections within this where it's more short stories that they've collated. So I really like the idea of this. It's going to be, honestly, really good. I'm really, really excited for this. So thank you so much. But that's it, update-wise. It's just been a kind of casual, well, no, it's been a chaotic couple of days, but I haven't done loads in terms of like reading and other things. It's literally just been wake up, get myself ready, head to work, and it's just been a bit busy, but that's fine. I've got 2 days off now. Oh, I am planning to do a lemon drizzle cake later today. I really, really want to try and do that. I think that's going to be really fun. That's literally the plans. The plans today, we've already done a bit of editing. I'm going to do a bit more editing. We're going to do some reading. We're going to bake a cake, and we're just going to see how the day goes from there. Also, I really want to get back into Animal Crossing. I started changing it over to a more Halloween themed island, and I was having a lot of fun with it. Then I stopped playing it for a while because, you know, life gets busy. Now now I'm like, I want to get back into it, but now actually I want to change my island completely and do a more winter-based island. So we might end up doing some of that. The day I finish a theme on that island, I will be in shock because I've never once done it. I get so close to finishing it and then I'm like, oh, but what if I change? So we might end up doing some of that. You'll see what we get up to, but 100% we're going to be baking a lemon drizzle cake, and fingers crossed that comes out okay because I love lemon drizzle cake. But yeah, okay, I'm actually starving, so I'm gonna do some breakfast and I will catch up with you maybe tomorrow, actually, depending on how much I get read today. But yeah, okay, right, let's go and do this. Breakfast, that's what I need to do. Day yesterday. I didn't do anywhere near the amount I was meant to do. So we did bake the lemon cake and oh my god, that came out really well. I'm really pleased with that. I definitely want to get a micro grater though, so that the zest of the lemon is smaller. So I did grate it and then I did kind of go through and cut it, but you still got a few bigger pieces in the cake. But honestly, because of the way it was cooked, it was fine. But no, I really enjoyed that lemon cake. It was just exactly what you want from a lemon cake. So I'm really happy with that. However, I was meant to do more things and I just didn't. I just lost the motivation. The day started off absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed the day. And then I just, for the afternoon, I was like, you know what, I just can't be bothered. And so I just chilled, which was amazing. I did a bit of reading, but I actually did a lot of Animal Crossing, which was great. I think I mentioned it already, transitioning my island over, which honestly, I'm probably going to film a bit more of me doing this today because I'm having a lot of fun with it. And then reading wise, I did read a bit, but not as much as I thought I was going to. Although I did read a bit of the Cozy new releases vlog that I am currently reading, so I did that. But yeah, I made a tiny bit of progress. So Will Prescribe You a Cat, I did read the second book, which was really good actually. It was only 40 pages long. I enjoyed it and I'm enjoying taking my time with this. So today I will read the third one, which is only 30 pages long. So I will probably do that with breakfast because I haven't eaten just yet. But I liked Margot. It's very nice. Again, it was a gentleman that was struggling with things, is feeling a little bit frustrated with his life. The first one, we were following someone who was in their 20s. In this one, he was in his 50s. And we're just seeing how having a cat and having that interaction in your life can change your outlook on life which was really cute and sweet. And it very much is that, like, it's a very heartwarming story. You could criticize it and be like, oh, but cats can't do that much, but I have a cat myself, and I feel like while some of the things were very like, it probably wouldn't happen that way, especially in the first book and the events it led up to, it really is a case of, if you have a pet, you automatically have a reason to make sure you're getting out of bed each day, because that pet needs looking after. They need you. And so I think it is very kind of underrated what pets can do for your mental health. And this book, that's kind of what it's exploring, is what can having something that you actually look after, that you interact with daily, that do depend on you, what that can do for yourself, for your family, and the impact it can have on your interactions, which I just think is a really sweet message. Like, is this going to get a little bit repetitive? Probably, but I also think it's kind of cute and sweet, and it's nice. Do I think I would get the second book? I'm not sure. I feel like I would probably just reread this one, but also I could be tempted because, you know, it's about cats and I love cats, and when you're wanting just a little dose of serotonin, it would be nice to have like a little short story collection like this that I could then spend across like a season. So maybe, say it came out, I think it's autumn next year, maybe I could keep it for spring or something, and it'd be really nice to have. I think I've mentioned this already again, but I do like having a seasonal short story collection to read. This year it has been the Agatha Christie ones. Next year, because I'm finishing that winter one in winter, so it will be going into spring, it'll be something completely different. Probably next year is going to be a lot of fairy tales, because I've got a lot of fairy tale collections. So yeah, I really enjoy having a little short story on the go, and this has been a pleasant surprise. In this sort of same vein, because this is broken down into days of the week, so it's just across 1 week, and I have read Monday. This was only 36 pages long, and honestly I had planned, as we know, to read this book and kind of get through quite a big chunk of it yesterday. However, I decided I'm actually preferring to take my time, because again, this is kind of looking at life. What is the meaning of life? So on Monday, we meet our main character, this young man who is told that he is going to be dying very soon. Then the devil comes to approach him and goes, actually, you're dying today. They make a deal, which if he, our young main character, if he gives up one thing from the world, he can extend his life by a day. So our main character makes this agreement. They decide on something that he's going to give up, and then we're going to be going into Tuesday and what the effect of that being given up is. I feel like there's going to be a lot of what is life, like what is the point of life, the interactions that we have with others, and just seeing how cutting ourselves off from everything isn't always healthy. Don't get me wrong, some things you need to cut yourself off from to protect yourself, but I just feel like this one is just that kind of nice, lovely story. So again, I kind of want to take my time with it. I would love to do every single day reading that day's thing, which if I'd realized that was how the book was set up, I probably would have done that from Monday. I can't be doing that. It's Thursday now. I'm probably going to read Tuesday and Wednesday, and then tomorrow read Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday read Saturday, Sunday, and probably do it like that. But yeah, so I don't think I'm going to get another book read, because I'm enjoying taking my time with these and just reading a little bit. So like, this is my morning book, this is my evening book, and it's quite nice and relaxing to do it like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really fun. It's very life affirming, I feel like, is what these books are. So yeah, I think it's really nice. But we do need to go through Winter-a-thon. The Winter-a-thon bingo being hosted by Rainy, because obviously I need to tick off what these two are going to be for. Now, if we look at where I am really close to getting the diagonal bingo. The only prompt left for that is white cover. If Cats Disappeared from the World, yeah, that works for. So I'm definitely going to be putting that one in for white cover. So we've got our first bingo, and I'm so freaking happy with that. But then we have If Cats Disappeared from the World, and I don't know. Now, this could fit for a couple of things. So we have under 300 pages, we have animal on the cover. We could also do the multi-POV, which I'm thinking that top row is probably going to be the next one that I'm able to tick off, because I've definitely got a book that's over 400 pages still to read on my TBR. I have a thrifted book that I'm going to be starting soon, and one of the books on my TBR has been on my TBR for over a year, so I'm going to count that as a TBR veteran. So I feel like the smarter thing would be to do the multi-POV. so that we can definitely get that second row going. Okay, yeah, let's do that, because this is where it's innately basically a collection of different stories following different people. You have the different perspectives, so it is a multi-POV book. So yeah, I'm going to be about to have some breakfast and read this little story, which is only 30 pages long, so that's the plan. So yeah, with that out the way, we have one bingo done, and the second bingo has been started. So I'm really pleased with the progress on the bingo board. So happy we got a bingo going. So yeah, very, very excited about that. And if you haven't been following Rainy, you definitely need to give her a follow. She is such a lovely person. But okay, I am going to start my day. I'm going to read my 30 pages of this with breakfast, and then we will read this at some point during the day, and we'll just see how the rest of the day goes. Fiddling around with trying to get the lighting to look nice, and it just hasn't happened, so hopefully I can edit this to look okay. Just gone 4 o'clock. My bedroom is so dark, it's unreal. So we've got the overhead light on and everything, but it's not the best light in the world. I don't know why I'm going on about light. The point is, hopefully this doesn't look too dark on screen for you, but I have some updates. So we do have reading updates, not loads. I've only read a little bit more of each book. So I have read the other short story in We'll Prescribe You a Cat, which I did enjoy, and I feel like that one, at the end of it, you start getting to learn a little bit more about this actual clinic, which I really like. In that one, we were following just a really busy mum. Her daughter doesn't feel like she's listened too much by her mum, but the reality is her mum's just really busy. She's constantly thinking about other things that need doing, things that are on her mind. And so when her daughter's coming to her with these really childish problems, which are big for when you are actually a child, but in the grand scheme of things aren't that big a problem, mum doesn't really give her the time. It's just a story of making time for one another, that even though you're busy, yes, other people's problems, if they're coming to you and they are someone that you really care about, make the time for them. All of these in here are lovely stories just about that connection that we have with one another, and not to take it for granted. So I did enjoy that. So I've got 2 left. The plan is, as we know, to read 1 more tonight, and I'll read the last one tomorrow. And then if Cats Disappeared from the World, I am up to Thursday, page 111, because I was doing some double checking and I have only got like 95 pages of this book left to go. And basically it works out that if I read Thursday today, that's 40 pages long, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are a lot shorter, so I can read those all together tomorrow evening. And I am kind of struggling with this one a little bit more. I like the message of this book a lot, but I'm personally finding that I'm not enjoying the narrator. So like our main character, I don't really like them as a character, and just the voice, the way this is written, I'm not as engaged with compared to We'll Prescribe You a Cat. So I was thinking about it because I had to go to the bookshop anyway to collect a book that had come in, and I was debating whether I was going to look for another translated Japanese cat book, knowing that I won't be able to read it this week anyway because I've taken my time with these. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, sure, I would probably give it a read, but it's probably going to take me like 6 to 8 months to actually get round to reading it, because I'm going to have to be in the mood for these sort of books. It's been really fun to do for this reading vlog, don't get me wrong, I've really enjoyed doing it. These books have made it so that I take a slower pace with my reading, so I am literally just reading a little section from each, and I've really enjoyed that. I've enjoyed having a nice slow paced reading week for a change, which has been lovely, and it's allowed me to do other things with my time as well. Like, I did end up playing a bit of Animal Crossing, which, did I film it? No, because I always get carried away, and then I realise after I've turned it all off, oh yeah, I should have probably put some B-roll in. It just doesn't happen, okay? It did enable me to do other things. I had another lazy day yesterday, and it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. So I have enjoyed reading these slowly. It's been great, but I have found that I cannot read them back to back. So I cannot this evening read my short story from here and then go straight into this one. I just won't be able to do it. I'm going to have to do something completely different for at least half hour to an hour before I can go into the next book, just to give me that little bit of a break up. I think these books would be lovely to break up some of my usual reading. So I think if I had separated this out over the month, then I could probably get on with this one a little bit better. Reading them back to back like this, I can clearly see which one I'm preferring, and as much as both of them are really good messages, like the messages that they're telling are very poignant, you know, they're lovely, they're heartwarming messages, it's not necessarily something I could read all the time. So it's interesting to know, but I am still really enjoying it, and I do like the fact that we do have a cat called Cabbage in If Cats Disappeared from the World. I like it, it's really cute. We get a lot of flashbacks in this book about our main character's life, because obviously we're meeting him when he's been told, oh, you're gonna die, and he's trying to extend his life by giving up different things in the world, and you're getting flashbacks of how each of those things has connected him in his past to other people, and so I really like that. I like seeing that, and we do get a lot of philosophical talkings in here. For example, we give up chocolate. Well, we are so prevalent in our food, we try and create so many different things, and it goes on about philosophizing about chocolate and about how humanity came up with that and how the different things it shows, and I like it. It does get a little bit heavy to read at times, so it's not something I want to be reading loads of. I'm having to break this one up. This one for me is a lighter, more fun, entertaining read. I still wouldn't binge it because it is short stories, and I prefer having a short story a day or a short story a week or something like that, so I'm enjoying doing that. And I do think if you read this one over the course of a month, I think it would be great. I think it would be so lovely. Reading them so close together, you notice a lot of the similarities that are happening in each story. They are kind of connected to one another, but also completely separate on their own, which I like. And as I say, I did really enjoy the end of the one we just read, which was Koyukai. At the end of that one, I did really enjoy seeing a bit more about what's actually going on with this clinic, and that was kind of like, oh, I like this. I don't want to give away spoilers and stuff, but I like that. That was a nice little addition, and it'll be interesting to see if we get more of that going forward. So yeah, I am really enjoying this one. Really happy that I did take the time to separate it rather than reading it all. So that's the thing that I've just found, is these sort of books I can't sit and binge read. As much as they are short books, considering I had 2 days off, I should have been able to get these done across those 2 days. I should have been able to do one in one day, one in the other day, because they are such easy books to read and they don't take long to read at all. But because of the content of them, I don't want to do that. I am really happy that I'm only reading about 40 pages a day from each of the books, apart from the fact that, actually yeah, because even this first short story I read over 2 days, so I have been averaging about 40 pages a day from each of these books. I think has been the best way to tackle these books, in all honesty. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with this reading week. I'm pleased that it's really forced me to slow down and enjoy other cozy hobbies. Also reading a cozy fantasy book, which I will not be talking about right now because that's coming in the new cozy fantasy releases video in December. Loving it, but it's also given me an opportunity to read some of that as well. Like, I feel like reading these books has done kind of what it's telling you to do in both of these books, which is go out and enjoy the little things in life. It doesn't matter if you think, oh, my life is so small, it doesn't have any meaning. Your life is meaningful because you are alive. Enjoy those little things. Take meaning from the little things in your life. And that's a philosophy that honestly I live by 100%. I am always about that. And that's why I do like the relax and readathons, where we take a day to do self-care, to just have a day that you can relax and read and enjoy some of your other hobbies and things and not feel bad about it. Because so much of our society is all about work hard, play hard, you know. It doesn't have to be like that. Enjoy those little things. I think as readers, we're more in tune to that naturally. But having this reading week and taking these books so slowly has really enforced that on me this week. And I've enjoyed it. As much as I'm saying I wouldn't read lots of this sort of book back to back, I would still read it at some point. I feel like for me, this is doing what the cozy new releases books do for me. Reading really cozy, fun books that are just comforting, and that's what these are. Although these are a lot more philosophy based, I'm gonna say. That might be the wrong word for it, but I feel like there's a lot more of that sort of meaning to life than some of the cozy books that we get. Some cozy book and fantasy books and stuff, like, they do touch on those sort of topics, but I feel like this is a lot more in your face about it, but it's also good. So I can really understand why people like these books. And yeah, I would read more, but I also know, thinking about my TBR, honestly, I've got plans for the next till April next year of the sort of themed vlogs I want to do and all of this stuff. So I've kind of got in mind the sort of things I want to be reading. Obviously, my TBR game throws in all sorts of different random books for me to read throughout the month as well. But I do have a massive TBR, so I was just thinking to myself, the reality is I'm probably not going to do another specific video like this for a while, so I'm not going to add another book to that. There are so many other things I want to do. None of that is to say that this has not been good, because it has been. This is not going to appeal to everybody, but it is really nice. Anyway, that was to say I didn't go and get a book when I went to collect the book that had been ordered for me. And the book that I went to collect today, which I'm so freaking excited about, is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. And just look how gorgeous this book is. Oh, I really can't wait. I mean, yes, big gal. She's got a huge booty on her, but it's like, oh, it's such a fantastic book. I'm so excited to read this one. I think, yes, this one does have illustrations. So this is the 20th anniversary edition. There is a new introduction by V.E. Schwab, which I cannot wait to read. And we do get illustrations. Now, I'm not sure if there's illustrations all throughout the book, and I kind of don't want to spoil myself for it, but I would also love to see if there is. There is. Okay, there is. I don't know how many we're going to get, but I'm very excited about that. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited to read this. So I do already have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but I have a thrifted normal edition of that book, paperback, and this is my favourite book ever. Like ever. I'm so excited to reread it. I really want to reread it soon. I decided when they were coming out with the 20th anniversary special edition to treat myself to a copy, and I was debating between hardback or paperback, but this is something I will be reading from. I'm going to read from this copy. I will be annotating from this copy. Because it's such a big book, it's going to be so much easier to read from the paperback than the hardback. So I decided to go for the paperback, and honestly, I'm pleased that I did that, because I did see the hardback in store I think a couple weeks ago, and I was having a look through it, and I was just like, you know what, no, I'm very happy that I decided to go with this one. I just think the binding on that one and stuff, it just would have been awkward to read from. This makes me so freaking happy. I genuinely can't wait, and it's a massive book, but I love it so much. This actually has got less pages, it looks like, than my other edition. This one's only coming up with 846 pages, whereas I'm pretty sure, let me grab it. Yeah, I was right. This edition of it has 1,006 pages. So I think all they've done is just made it so that the writing, the font, yeah, that's a lot smaller. But you know what? I don't mind. And look, this one, I do like it because it's been read. You know, the spine's broken in, it's easy to flip open and read, but it's going to be so satisfying to have this book be well read. And I actually really like this it's in copper, whereas on the hardback edition it's in silver. And I actually quite like that. It feels like a nice distinction on this. I can't wait to read this. I'm so excited to read this book. I will be taking my time with it. I am going to be breaking the spine because the way they've done this is you can't open this book fully to read the inside without breaking the spine. So for me to annotate and things, the spine's going to get broken in, but it's a book that's never leaving my collection. If I wanted a specific copy just to look pretty on my shelves, I wouldn't have got this. I would have got the hardback. But the idea is for me to give this one to a charity shop, a free little library or something, and then read from this one and have this be my edition because I'm just so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. And I really like it. I think there's always up for debate about which one you prefer. And I like this because it's classic, but also this is just, it's just pretty. It's just different. I like the fact that we've got trees on the spine and it feels a little bit more magical. I'm very happy with this. I'm so happy. And you know what? I meant for this to be a really quick update. I thought I don't have loads to talk about the books, so I'm probably just going to be like a 5-minute update. And instead we're at 16 minutes. That's what we know. I can just talk for England because I just don't know how to shut up. But for now, I do actually need to get a little bit of editing done, relax, have a bath. I'm so tempted just to read this book, but I have 4 books left on my TBR for October. No, we're in November. Oh my god. Clearly I'm tired. But yeah, I've got 4 books left on my TBR for November, which I need to get read. I'm also starting Danny's readathon next week. So we're going to have 2 different readathons on the go. We're going to have Winterathon, which we already know what the prompts have been fulfilled for this week by Rainy. And we're going to have Danny's bucket listathon, which technically started today on the 15th of December, but I'm going to be starting it on the 17th of December. And we'll probably go 17th till the 17th because it's meant to be 15th to the 15th, so we're just going to go to the end and I'm going to be rolling as I go, so we're going to see what I get on my TBR and hopefully those prompts from Danny's readathon fits what I need to be reading. We're also going to be starting a buddy read next week, which I'm really excited about, so I genuinely don't have time to read this, but I really want to. I'm hoping it gets on my December TBR, even though I have plans for my December TBR and I've got so many different books I want to read for that, like Christmas books I've been saving, but at the same time I could just throw it all out the window and just read this. And again, I'm still talking and we're now at 18 minutes, so I just need to stop talking. I said I wouldn't get the second book of Will Prescribe You a Cat. Yeah, I'm going to, because I loved this. So I do stick to what I say. It does read as if it's short stories. However, the last 3 carry on from each other perfectly and they are kind of interconnected a lot more. The first one, 100% you can read just as a standalone short story, similar to the second one, but the first one has more context to it. But when you get to the third, at the end of the third, it has something in the reasoning behind the clinic that you get in the third one, which is explored more in the 4th and 5th one, which I really enjoyed. And the way it ended on the 5th one, I will definitely be getting Will Prescribe You a Cat again when it comes out next year. I'm really looking forward to it. Really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really good, really wholesome, really sweet. It is a collection that I would say take your time with, as much as yes, it is technically just one novel. The way it's formatted, as we know, it feels like short stories. It works really well in that format of read one, take a break from it, leave it for a couple days or so, then come back to it and read another one, or do what I did and read 1 per day. It was such a beautiful collection of stories to do that with. I really like the messages in this one. I really like the fact that I could take my time with reading this and really enjoy each story. And yes, there were definite beats to it that were very similar, but I think it kind of explains it quite well at the end of that 5th story, and it does make me want to go back and reread through it to see what I can pick up on. Like, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was just so much fun, so cutesy, and yeah, it's not gonna be for everyone. It lived up to the expectations I had for it, and so for that I am really, really happy. I will say, if cats disappeared from the world, I struggled in that last bit. Now, I kind of knew that I would a little bit, but definitely more so than I expected, but I can see why it's in there. It does set the tone for how this book wraps up, and without it, our character wouldn't have reached that decision, or at least definitely not as quick as it did. And that's another thing, like I still didn't like our main character, I still couldn't really get on with him, and I think the tone of this book I wasn't fully connecting to, but I can see why a lot of people do love this book. I would say maybe give this one a try from your library if you want to try it. I mean, that's my recommendation with a lot of books, to be fair. If you have a really good, well-stocked library, then utilize it if you can. It's a really good way to test out if you actually want to purchase a book. But yeah, I don't think I would reread this one because of the ending of this book, whereas I would happily reread Will Prescribe You a Cat, and I will be continuing on with that second book. I mean, this reading week has been lovely, it's been really relaxed, and that's exactly, I mean, I've already mentioned it, how these books, that's what it's focusing on. It's focusing on what is the point of life, and showing you the point of life is that you're alive, you're in it, live it, and enjoy the little things. And I really like that as a message, and reading these books slowly, taking my time with them, did exactly that. And you know, it is lovely for that, and I can definitely see why so many people have enjoyed these sort of translated books. I would read more of them. I do have my eye on a couple that I would like to read, but as I said, I don't think it's going to be something that I'll get to again for a little while, just to give myself a breather. This is not the sort of thing that I could read all the time. I need a break from this, but this is nice to break up my usual reads, and I think having this in the middle of my cozy crime month was a really nice way to break up my reads, because last week it was cozy crime, next week is another cozy crime week with a bit of added chaos in there, but you know, it's a nice break from the rest of my books, and I think that's what I would use these for. I've really enjoyed these. You'll have to let me know if you've read either of them, what your thoughts are. Would you read these sort of books? Is it your sort of thing? Or like me, is this a bit outside your usual comfort zone, but something you're willing to try? You will have to let me know. But that's the end. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you again to Anna Louisa for gifting me these necklaces. They are so beautiful, and if you want to take advantage of Anna Louisa's biggest sale ever, which is perfect for this festive season for giving gifts to others or yourself, then do use the link in the description below, where they do have up to 30% off at the moment. Have a look at it. Honestly, you will not be disappointed. These have been absolutely beautiful. I could go on for ages, but genuinely, I thank you so much, Anna Louisa. I've loved working with you for this. But yeah, okay, we're gonna leave it there. So of course, the emoji of the day, if you've made it this far or you just don't know what to comment, has to be a cat. How can it be anything else other than a cat? It has been wonderful, and let me know, do you have a cat? And if you do, what are they like? But okay, I'm gonna stop waffling on, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you that takes the time to watch these videos. It really does mean a lot. And if you have enjoyed today's video, then please do consider giving it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out. My social media links, the link to Anna Louisa and anyone I've mentioned will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.